What's up, guys? My name is Nicola Muglio, and I am an independent singer-songwriter. I've been a musician for about 7 years now, and today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about how you can start promoting yourself online using the tools that social media and online music distributors allow you to use, so that you can start getting your content out there and creating a fan base. The most frequently asked question I usually get from other independent artists is how they can start getting themselves out there, using a platform to draw attention from the right people so that they can start to create a fan base. The very first step you're going to want to take is feeling comfortable enough to share your art, because that's kind of the reason why we do what we do, right? We want to make sure that we're getting our music out there so that people can listen and connect with what you have to say as an artist. So to tell you a little bit about myself and my background, I have been working professionally in the music industry for about 7 years now. I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm an audio engineer and producer in training as well. And I am the lead singer in a sibling pop music duo called Nicole and Scotty with my brother Scotty. And I run all of the social medias for our brand, and I am our sole promoter and publicist. Pretty easy thing to figure out once you dip your toes in, especially if you're working independently without management or label backing. It's very vital for your brand, and make sure that you are sending out the image to the public that you want to share. I'm going to teach you a little bit about the social media platform Instagram and how you can use it to your advantage as an independent artist, some tips and tricks. And after that, I'm going to be teaching you about how to use Spotify once you start getting your original music distributed. We're going to focus solely on Spotify because what I really love about them is that they are making their platform very user-friendly. There is an app that you can use as kind of like administrator over your original content called Spotify for Artists. So you're going to want to make sure you download that as well. So once again, we're going to need to download Instagram, Spotify, and Spotify for Artists to your phone or your browser. And we're going to get started and discuss how we can use those platforms as independent artists to make sure that we are getting our music out there and heard by the right people. Let's get started. All right, guys, so we're going to get started on using Instagram. I'm going to walk you through how to establish an account if you never have before. I am going to explain what a business profile is and how you can utilize those business profile tools to grow your brand organically online. So about 6 years ago, I decided, after we had just been on Facebook and YouTube, that it was time to download Instagram and start getting ourselves out there using that platform. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I am the only person at this time for our band who runs online promotion and social media marketing and branding. And it's a really great skill to have. There are consultants that you can hire, but it saves a lot on your budget to be able to do things for yourself most of the time. So, if it's not your thing, it's good to have the basics laid out for you, and that way you can post content whenever you feel like it. You don't have to wait or send your work out to somebody for approval. You can kind of just have things running by yourself from home. So Instagram is a great platform. It is a photo and video sharing site. It's a great place to promote your music if you're having a release. Let's say you're putting out a song through a distributor and, it's going out to places like iTunes and Spotify. Usually when our band drops a song, I will immediately go to Instagram and start spreading the word, even 4 weeks out. Pre-release, I will let people know that they can pre-save the song. I'll start hyping them up. We'll get a hashtag going so that if people search for our song title, they will see all of the posts within that hashtag. And that's what's great about that. Currently, our own account, it's at Nicole and Scotty. on our own account, we have over 60,000 followers. And I was able to grow our account from, the very beginning by myself, just using clever hashtag methods and keeping consistent with posting content. Because once you are online, you're going to want to stay online. And once you have a fan base, you're going to want to make sure that you are constantly giving them something to watch, something to listen to, something to interact with. These are all really important things to keep in mind when you are branding yourself online, because your music is bigger than just yourself, right? You want to make sure that people are listening and that they appreciate what you have to say and the message behind your music. And, you kind of want to create like a conversation around the content you're putting out. And Instagram is, in my opinion, it's my favorite app to use for connecting with fans because of how user-friendly it is and how creative you can get with it. So we're going to get started on teaching you guys how to first establish your account if you're brand new. Quick note, if you are going to want to make a business profile on Instagram, which you probably should, that way you will be able to see important analytics, such as, basic demographics of the people viewing your videos and photos, who your fans are, what cities they're from, kind of just basic data like that. And if you do not already, I highly recommend establishing a like page on Facebook, because that's what's going to allow you to establish a business profile on Instagram. They need to have your like page already established. And that's fairly simple. You log on to Facebook and you create a like page, and then you can plug that information in on Instagram after you're finished with that. So let's go ahead and get started on first establishing an Instagram account. So we're going to go to Instagram and create an account. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So I'm showing you guys right now on my browser to be able to just demonstrate how to do things and what the homepage looks like. But in order to set up an account and start posting, you're going to need to download the Instagram app to your mobile device. So you can download it, as you can see over here, to the Apple Store if you have an Apple device, or on Google Play if you have an Android. So don't have an account. I'm going to sign up. They're going to ask for, if you have a Facebook account, you can log in with that. But if you have a personal Facebook profile and not a like page, I don't recommend it, because it's going to be a little confusing to have to switch your personal to your like page later on if you want to use a business profile on Instagram. So go ahead and establish your account with your mobile number or email, your full name, choose a username. That's going to be your band name or your artist name, and choose a password. And then you're going to click sign up. I already have an account, so I'm going to log in and show you guys what my band page looks like. Alrighty, you guys. So now we are on my band Instagram account. We're at Nicole and Scotty. As you can see, when you are first setting up your brand new account, you're going to want to edit your profile so that you can make it look nice and established like ours does. So they're going to usually ask for a profile picture, and you're going to put in, like, if you're a solo artist, put in a headshot. If you're a band, put in a band shot. Make sure that all of your band members are visible. I've seen other artists and bands also use their band logo, like the name of their band, in a cool looking font or graphic as their profile picture, and you can definitely do that too. We're going to go to edit profile, and I'm going to show you guys a little how that works. So at the top here, you're going to see, change profile photo, because I already have one, but for first-time users, it's going to be choose profile photo. And you're going to need your headshots or band photo or graphic, whatever you're using for your profile photo, on your mobile device to be able to upload in order to upload any photos or videos to your Instagram, you're going to need to be using your mobile device. You can log in just to, check on your notifications or your messages via your browser, but I highly recommend, making sure that you have the app on your phone easily accessible so that you can post whenever and wherever you want. Your username, again, it's a good idea to use your band name unless you have some cool, quirky, band themed username that you want to use that people are familiar with associating you guys by. You can put in a website link. So if you have merch, if you have a song that just came out that you want to make sure you're linking people to, if you want to link people to a YouTube video, whatever you want to do, that's like an outsourced link from another website. You can put that right here. So we have our Linktree account right there. And Linktree is a site that combines many different links into just one solid link for people to visit to be able to go to multiple outside websites. So if you were to visit our Linktree, you would see our website, our merch store, our Spotify account, and all the other social medias we have. So here in our bio, you're going to see what we have written is very short and sweet. You're going to want to get to the point in this bio. You're not writing, a big, lengthy explanation. I think Instagram keeps it to a certain amount of words anyway. So, I sum it up pretty simply. We're a musical sibling duo, recording and performing artists, songwriters, musicians, producers, and audio engineers. And at the bottom, I let people know that our latest single, Sweet and Sour, is out now so that they can search for that song and listen if they would like to. Right here, they're going to ask for an email and a phone number to be able to contact you guys by. So if you're in a band, usually the front man or front woman is the person who will give their personal information at this stage. And don't worry, guys, nobody can see your email or your phone number as long as you choose not to show it in your privacy settings. We're a two-piece duo, so no gender is relevant here anyways. All right, guys. So if you want to edit your privacy and security, if you're on Instagram as a band or an artist account, I highly recommend being as public as possible so that new fans can find you guys and learn about you. Because the thing with a private account is new followers are going to have to request to follow you, and you're going to approve them to do so. But with a public account, people can just follow you, and you don't have to approve them to follow you. You don't have to follow them back. They can just be your fans, and you don't have to worry about managing your account like that. So our account is very public because we want to make sure we're inviting anybody who's interested to come and check us out. I'm going to explain in a moment what the story setting is, and I recommend you turn this on because it will allow people to be able to promote your work for you, which you can't beat. If your fans see that you're sharing something and they want to help you spread the word, they can go ahead and share your announcement or your latest video with their friends and family. So you're going to want to have that on. I recommend keeping your comments turned on so that people can interact with your posts and share what they think about what you're sharing with them. It's a great way. So, okay. As you guys can see, we have 60,000 followers. We're only following about 1,500 people. You do not have to follow everybody who follows you. Let them, be your fans and support you and such. But we like to make sure we are very open with our fan base as well. Sometimes we do follow back sprees to encourage fan engagement. So you could let people know hey, anybody who follows us in the next 15 minutes will follow you guys back. And it's a great way to have people get excited about being your fan. As you can see over here, we have 973 posts, and that is since March of 2015. So we post pretty frequently. And I highly recommend being active on Instagram, especially because you will be able to tap into the benefits of something we call in the industry lifestyle marketing. And lifestyle marketing is basically just sharing yourself with your fan base. You're not only providing content for your fans, by posting music videos or song releases or, photo shoot photos. You're also, showing them that you guys are like normal people who have cats or dogs or, these are the records that I'm listening to for inspiration today while we're recording something. And I love Instagram, especially because it's just so easy to be able to share, what you're doing in the moment. We post pretty frequently as a band, as you can see. We post everything from new YouTube videos, show announcements. Right now we're living in, the times of COVID-19, so we haven't been able to get out and tour, but we're still having plenty of live stream events. So, we'll post like a live stream announcement. We're posting also like our videos from TikTok to be able to share them with our Instagram following, photos from photo shoots, song announcements, things like that, collaborations, honestly, anything that's relevant to your brand. And your brand is basically who you are as a band or a solo artist. And it's, what your likes and interests are, as well as the music you're creating. People really respond to getting to know the band that they're following. They like to learn that, you have the same favorite ice cream flavors as they do, or you have a dog and they have a dog. It's great. And not only can you actually make a post, a regular post is going to show up on your main profile here on Instagram. You can also use something called Instagram Stories. And Instagram Stories, if you're familiar with Snapchat, you'll already be familiar with the concept. Instagram Stories are good for 24 hours. So they're, posts that you can make that aren't as relevant to share onto your main profile. Usually you could do things like announcements, polls. If there's something, political that you would like to share with your followers, you can do that too. Instagram logs your past posts and will remind you, like, you posted this a couple years ago. Would you like to share it again? And you can do so, which is great because if you didn't get enough likes on your post back then, you could share it on your story with your followers and get another round of attention. All right, guys. So next, I'm going to touch on how to create a post a little bit. What you're going to do, and you can only post to Instagram from your mobile device. So make sure whatever you want to upload to Instagram, you will have already put on your mobile device. So if you're posting a video or a photo to Instagram, that has to be on your mobile device already so that you can share it. Let's start with when you're posting just a regular photo, you're going to get the option to even edit that photo in Instagram using their filters or their editing tools. You can absolutely do so. It's great. You could play around with the settings. I like to, experiment using different filters and different lighting techniques. If you're not, crazy up on that, that's okay. You don't have to worry about that. If you already have a photo that's been edited from a photographer, you don't even need to worry about that stuff. But it's just something, if you have a passion for learning about, making your photos look pretty, it's something that's available to you. And you could put just a simple filter and already the photo will look even better than it already did before. And then you are going to get to a screen where you have to edit a caption. And it could be super duper long if it's, a big introduction post on who you are or who your band is and, how you guys got your start. You could make a big post and talk about yourselves. If it's something short and sweet, I've seen, other bands post everything from this is how our day went, or we we're recording a song in a studio, and this was the experience. We're so excited to share new music with you guys. And also, like, sometimes you want to post something shorter and, let people know, like here, for instance, I'm asking our fans, like, who's ready to kick off a live stream weekend. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to tour, so we're doing plenty of live stream events. And I've been promoting those on Instagram. Something nice and simple, letting people know what time the events are kicking off, remembering time zones, because on Instagram, you are, sharing your content to people from all around the world. So if you're doing something time specific or location specific, make sure you mention that in your caption. And if it's just something silly like a selfie, whatever's on your mind, honestly, you can put that in your caption. Just make sure it's, relevant to the post. What I love about Instagram is that you can use up to 30 hashtags. Hashtags, if you're not familiar with the concept, are a way to kind of brand your post, let people know what kind of content you're putting out. So as you can see right here, hold on, I'm going to pull up a post for you guys where a hashtag I used was relevant to the post. All right, guys, so here we have a post where we are promoting a quarantine themed original song that we're sharing with people. You can use up to, like I said, 30 hashtags, and those are all going to be relevant to your post. So we have our own hashtag here. We hashtag everything Nicole and Scotty, so that, if people hear our name just randomly in passing, they can search for the hashtag Nicole and Scotty and find all of our posts. They don't have to just go to our account. In that hashtag, anybody else who's ever used that hashtag and made a post using it, you'll be able to see their posts as well. We use the hashtag musician life, pop music, new music Friday, vocalist, singer. Basically, you're going to use hashtags for anything that you find relevant. If you're using a specific guitar brand, like we use Yamaha and Martin, you could hashtag Yamaha and Martin so that other users that are interested in those guitar brands will, just be scrolling through the hashtag and might come across your post. And that way you're drawing in a wider variety of fans. IGTV is for posting longer videos because Instagram videos have a cutoff of 1 minute. So as you can see here, we were posting a cover that we first posted on YouTube, and we shared a minute of that cover to Instagram to let people know that the full-length video is up on our YouTube channel. But if you want to upload full-length videos without a time limit to your Instagram profile, you can do that using IGTV. And that's for like longer, music videos or cover videos, whatever, or just a behind the scenes video of you in the studio, whatever you want to do. Instagram TV has made that possible. Basically, that covers Instagram. You can also share your Instagram posts to other social medias. I believe you can share to Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook as well, which is a great feature. It makes your life a lot easier. Instead of having to log on to multiple accounts and share the same thing over and over, you can kind of oversee that just from Instagram itself. And over here, we're going to have the Discover icon. And this is great, especially if you've just established a brand new account, because it will help you discover people. So, suggest people you should follow based on your interests. And, to gain followers, you have to also, start out by following people and being pretty generous with your followers in the beginning. So you can follow your favorite musicians. You can follow, really any account that you want your brand to be associated as supporting. Over here is your message icon. These are your direct messages. And this is where, people can send you private messages, sort of like text messages, and you can answer them. You have a primary message bank and a general one and a request one. So if it's somebody that doesn't follow you that's trying to contact you, those messages will usually end up in your requests, and you can go and view them and organize them to be, primary would probably be anything related, to business or personal matters. And general could be, messages from folks you don't know yet. At least that's usually how I do things. And then over here, this little house icon, that's to touch on the paper airplane icon. That's your direct messages. And the little house icon is your home page, and that's your main feed. So here you're going to see all of the posts of the people that you follow and the people who follow you. And it's important when you are first establishing yourself on Instagram to go through and regularly interact with other posts, because then the way the Instagram algorithm will work is your own post will get put into the feeds of the people that you were supporting. So it's a great little networking tool. Just a hot tip. But yeah, that basically sums up Instagram. And best of luck establishing your account, and have a great time. That's the main rule, post what you want to post and have fun doing it. All right, guys, so moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about Spotify. If you're not already familiar, Spotify is a music streaming platform that allows users to stream your original music, basically. They do pay you in royalties via your music distributor. So if you are putting a new song or a new album out, you're going to be using, I assume, one of the major distributors. There's CD Baby, there's DistroKid, there's TuneCore. Do some research, figure out which one is best for you and your music and the kind of release that you're looking for. And absolutely make sure that they distribute to Spotify. I'm almost 100% that all the major distributors out there do, but just double check just in case you're using something that I'm not familiar with personally. So Spotify for sure is my favorite music streaming platform because it is very user-friendly to fans, and you don't have to have a specific mobile device to use it. You don't have to have an Apple device like you have to have one for iTunes or Apple Music to be able to stream with them. Spotify is user-friendly to all mobile users, and they're pretty user-friendly for you, the artist or band, as well, thanks to a brand new app that they have developed to allow artists and bands to take administrative control over their music once their music has been distributed to Spotify itself. So I'm going to be showing you guys what Spotify for Artists looks like. So this is the main page. I'm already logged in on this browser. I do not have access to our music on here, which is great. So I can demonstrate how putting that claim in will work. And basically, Spotify for Artists is going to allow you to see who's streaming your music and from where, very similar to the analytics tool on Instagram. And it'll show you your overall streams, the most popular countries that your music is resonating with, things like that. So what you have to do is you have to claim your profile to be able to access your music and the analytics for your music. So you're going to go over here to get access. And you do, in fact, have to have the ordinary Spotify app in order for this to work as well, because you're going to be using the account you set up to take it to your Spotify for Artists profile. Okay. So you're going to go over here and say claim an artist profile. If you already have music on Spotify, you can get access to stats, pitch tracks to our editors, and more. And that is a great tool and a great feature that Spotify for Artists has made available. You are able to pitch your original releases to editorial playlists. So basically what Spotify does with their playlist is suggest music to users based on the user's history. They try to find music that those users enjoy and suggest similar songs to those users, which is where you, the independent up and coming artist, will come in, because there are genre-based editorial playlists. There are mood-based editorial playlists, all kinds of themes and categories. There's a wide variety of playlists that you can pitch your music to using the Spotify for Artists tool. And if you do place a track on one of those editorials, and there's a good chance you will, as long as you follow the instructions that they'll have available for you once you are interested in that option, you have a very good chance of getting your songs placed, because they have a great team looking over, all brand new original releases. We got one of our singles on an editorial playlist a couple of years ago, and that single now has over 70,000 streams on its own. And that bumped up our overall number of streams to over 100,000, which is pretty great. I think it's a pretty solid number for an independent artist. So we're going to say claim an artist profile, right? Continue. In order for this to work, you have to have music on Spotify already. Your music has to be available to stream on Spotify in order for this to work. What profile are you claiming? We are going to search for Nicole and Scotty, which is my band, and there we are. So once you have your profile claimed, you will have access to all of your stats on all of the songs that you have released on Spotify. And I feel like this is a little known gem, because very recently, in fact, I had a bunch of people asking me, how do I get control over my music on Spotify? I didn't know that my music was distributed to Spotify. How do I, have control over that? Where can I go to kind of view like what's going on with my song on there? And Spotify for Artists is the answer. So even if you had music that was released up to 5 or 6 years ago, because our very first EP was released in 2014, when Spotify for Artists wasn't a thing, I can still go and claim that old profile. So once you have your artist profile claimed on Spotify for Artists, your homepage is going to show you what your listener, stream, and follower count has looked like in the past 7 days, and what your top songs were in the past 7 days. You'll see information on the playlists. If your songs have been placed on playlists, you'll see information on that. You are going to see your source of streams. Spotify for Artists will tell you not only the physical location of the people streaming your music, but it will also tell you where they're listening from online. So if they found your music from an outside source, such as a different website, you'll be able to see where that's coming in. And if you're getting a huge amount of traffic from a certain place, you can promote there more frequently, now knowing that platform is working really well for you. There's helpful hints, how to get playlisted, get noticed with a bold visual identity. There are great, articles to read on how to brand yourself, how to put your music out there and get attention. Here at the little library icon is going to be your music, where you can get more specific about your stream information. You can sort by listeners, streams, saves, and release data. Choose your time period, and your options for that are the last 24 hours, the last 7 days, the last 28 days since 2015 when Spotify for Artists was created, or all time, which just lets you see how many streams you have on each song since their release, basically. So here you will be able to, under releases, see all of your releases in the order that they were put out. and they have to be made live on Spotify to appear here. And you can check into your stream data there as well, and then playlist data there. So moving on to your audience icon, you will be able to see in great detail what your stream activity looks like, your follower activity, and your listener activity. So when, where, and how people are listening to your music. Sources of streams is important, like I mentioned before, so that you can see where people are listening from, so you can give more attention to the platforms that are working really well, and, kind of work harder on those that aren't. If you see that, like here we have a huge source of our own streams are coming in from listeners' own playlists and library. You get to see the gender of your listeners, their age, and the top countries and cities people are streaming from. And this is great information to have so that you can know where to schedule your tours and, what cities that you should play some shows in if you're a touring artist. Once you claim your artist profile on Spotify for Artists, you will receive a blue check mark letting everybody know that you are a verified Spotify artist, which is great. And on this page, you can edit a little bio. We have a little about section. We touch on a short bio, who we are and how we got started, just as an introduction for new fans. Our main singles will show up here. We haven't released a full-length album yet, but when we do, our album will also be available, and we can spotlight any new song or record that we want to spotlight right here on the artist pick. And also you can promote your concerts or shows. You as an artist can also create your own playlist. As you can see here, we have a sweet and sour theme playlist. And like I mentioned before, there are a lot of thematic playlists on Spotify. So we have a spring of 2019 playlist over there. And making your own playlists and utilizing that feature is great, because if your song reminds you of other songs that are already in existence, which I'm sure it will, you can group your song into a playlist with a ton of other songs that sound like it, so that people, have some variety and can listen to music that also reminds them of your song, which is great. And then it allows people who are listening to the bands that sound like you to be able to find you a little bit easier. Just hot tip. But yeah, I think that basically covers Spotify for Artists. So thanks for listening, you guys, and good luck. I hope that this little tutorial on Spotify for Artists is helpful to you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that everything we discussed here today will be applicable and helpful in your future as an independent artist promoting yourself on the internet. If you would like to learn more about myself and my band, Nicole and Scotty, you can visit our website, www.nicoleandscotty.com. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. If you search Nicole and Scotty, we should come right up. And you can stream our original music on Spotify and iTunes, and basically anywhere fine digital music is sold. Thank you so much again to The Main for having me and hosting such a great discussion. And once again, really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you later.
Hi, my name is Chris Edgar. I'm an independent music artist, probably much like yourself. I do scores for films. I do pop songs. I do random crazy projects that I come up with. So I do all kinds of stuff, music related. And today I'm here to talk about using a service that's called CD Baby to sell your music. Now, I'm not affiliated with CD Baby in any way, but I do like their service a lot, and I am a longtime user. CD Baby is what's called an aggregator. So an aggregator distributes music to a bunch of different platforms where people can buy or stream the music, such as the ones you're familiar with, like iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, and so on. Aggregators are often used by independent music artists who aren't yet signed to a record label. Now, aggregators are useful for a couple of reasons. First, some platforms won't sell your music at all unless it comes to them through an aggregator, or it comes to them from a record label, and if you're an independent artist, then you probably don't have one of those yet. For instance, suppose that you want to sell your music on iTunes. If you want to do that directly without using an aggregator, you have to meet a bunch of criteria that often independent artists don't meet. For instance, you have to have at least 20 albums in your catalog and UPC and ISRC codes for all of the tracks that you want to distribute. A lot of independent artists out there don't have 20 albums yet, and many have no idea what a UPC or an ISRC code even is. But we will cover that when we talk about how to use CD Baby. Second, even if you can deal directly with some platforms, you have to fill out a separate application for each of the platforms you want to sell your track on, and you have to meet all of their requirements. With an aggregator like CD Baby, you can fill out just one form with the information about the song or the track that you want to sell. If the aggregator approves the track, they say it's okay for distribution, the aggregator will send it to all of the platforms, that is, to Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, etc., rather than you having to deal with all of the platforms yourself. Each of the platforms will also need to review and approve your track, but at least you don't have to be involved in that process. You don't have to submit a separate application for each one of them. So now that we understand what an aggregator is, why do I use CD Baby? As far as I know, although these aggregator sites are constantly updating their services and new ones are constantly popping up and so on, CD Baby distributes music to the largest number of platforms of any aggregator out there. And their service is the fastest of any of the aggregators I've worked with, and I've worked with a bunch of them. So I've been using them to distribute my music for years. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about how to use CD Baby. Let's start with the CD Baby account dashboard. Now, of course, you have to create an account before you can go to the account dashboard, but that's very simple. You just put some basic information about yourself, and then I think you have to verify it by clicking on a link in an email that will be sent to you. But once you've reached this screen, then you can see all the tools that are available to you. You can add a new title, which is what we're going to be going through today. You can look at your sales of titles that you've already started distributing through CD Baby, and you can review the albums and the singles that you have submitted for distribution in case you want to make any changes. And then we have these featured tools here. The majority of those are premium services that the CD Baby wants you to buy. But we're not going to look at those today. What we're going to look at today is adding a new title. So we click on that, and then we get a choice between having them distribute a full album or a single song. Now notice that under album it says you can get digital streaming and download and CD, DVD, or vinyl sales. So they will help you distribute your tracks on CD or DVD rather than just digital if you're into that kind of thing. I have just used them for digital distribution, and I've been very happy with that. Let's say that we want to release a single. So I'll click on single. And then here we have a couple of different options. We can pay $29.95 for pro publishing. I haven't used pro publishing at all. I've just used the standard, and that has worked well for me. Pro publishing deals specifically with the copyright registration of the song, and they'll help you get a membership in a performing rights organization like ASCAP or BMI. And they'll pay more attention to helping you collect royalties than you would normally get. I haven't needed CD Baby's help with that. I've been using the standard version. And then, of course, they've got a video down here that helps you to choose between standard and pro publishing. So I'm going to select standard. And now we're going to provide the basic information about the single. So the artist name is Chris Edgar, which is me. The single title is going to be called Bury Me, which I know is kind of Bury Me, which is kind of an anguish-sounding song name. But that is the single that I'm actually going to release. I'm actually going to submit to CD Baby while you watch. So as far as the release date is concerned, usually it takes about a week for CD Baby to review and approve any single or album that you submit to them. But then after that, the various platforms like iTunes and Amazon and so on are also going to have to review your submission to make sure that the submission meets their requirements. So I would say that the rule of thumb would be to put your release date at least 2 weeks out from the date that you're submitting your track to CD Baby or your album to CD Baby. Now, during this whole COVID-19 situation, the wait times have been longer because everybody's working from home and there have been other sources of delay. So it actually took, I think, 2 weeks for CD Baby to review my most recent single submission that I sent them on at the end of May. And then the platforms, though, right after that, they immediately accepted it. So it really didn't take that much longer than 2 weeks, even though CD Baby has like a FAQ on its site right now saying that COVID-19 is probably going to cause submissions to take 5 or 6 weeks to get processed. But anyway, so today is June 17th. Let's say that we want the single to come out on July 1st. Record label, you don't need to have a record label to use CD Baby. It'll just fill in the artist's name. If you leave that blank. The copyright owner, if the copyright owner is you, the artist, then you can leave that blank as well. Now, a barcode is something that you need basically to be distributed anywhere. If you don't already have a barcode, then CD Baby will generate one for an additional $5 fee so that your total fee will end up being $14.95 as opposed to the $9.95 that we saw. That's also known as a UPC code, which we talked about before. Okay, now we have to agree to terms of service, stating that you're at least 13 years old and you actually own the copyright and so forth. I won't go through all of this right now because probably that wouldn't be very interesting to you. There's my full legal name, Christopher Ramsey Edgar, and I agree. Okay, let's say the artist on the track is me. That's very simple. Does the track include explicit lyrics? No. Language of lyrics, English, because that's the language that I sing in. Is this track a live version? No. This is a version of the song that I recorded in the studio. For composition type, we would say original composition, because this is a song that I wrote, as opposed to being a cover song or a song that is in the public domain, meaning that the copyright on it has now expired. Now, I've already put myself into this songwriter bank here, as you can see. So all I have to do is click Add to this track to be listed as the songwriter by CD Baby of the song. What did Christopher Ramsey Edgar contribute to this track? I contributed both music and lyrics, so I will check both of those. Do I have a publisher for Bury Me? No, this one I'm going to put out completely independently. All by my lonesome. So now we go to this next page, which is called Genres. CD Baby will distribute your title through its own site, through cdbaby.com, in addition to submitting it to iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and so forth. Of course, the majority of the people who use CD Baby are going to be much more interested in having their title distributed through iTunes or Amazon than they are on the CD Baby site. But this information here, this genre number 1, genre number 2, and album mood/style, that's primarily for use on the CD Baby site. So it's not really that important. We'll just say rock, because that's what the song is, and then we have the choice between a bunch of different subcategories. I would say one of my categories, my subcategories here would be adult alternative pop/rock. Now you can pick rock again if you want to pick a different subgenre. Let's see, what would I choose for this? Experimental rock, maybe. Main category, here we have the album mood/style. I would say that it's brooding, which is true of a lot of my songs. Artist location. Here I can select, I'm going to select, scroll down until I see United States, California, LA, which is where I happen to be. Artists you sound like. This is another section that's just for the use of CD Baby for distributing your track on its own site. So it doesn't matter that much when it comes to how your track is going to be described on iTunes. I suspect, although I don't think this is explained on the CD Baby site, that at least one of these main categories that you pick is going to be used to describe the genre of your track on the major platforms. Like I released a single recently that was distributed to iTunes by CD Baby. And I think that because I picked rock as the main category, that iTunes listed as rock. But that one word is the only information that iTunes lists about the genre of the track. That doesn't talk about whether I sound like John Mayer and so on. John Mayer, the Lumineers, and the Shins. That's what I did for the last track. And because it's not really that important, I'm just going to put that information in again. Okay, so an ISRC is a unique identifying code for your song, which, like a barcode, as this text says here, is required for digital distribution. Most independent artists will need an ISRC to be assigned. Let's click I need you to assign an ISRC. So now we get to the meat of it. You have a choice of 3 options here regarding the digital distribution that your track is going to get. The first one is downloads and streaming services. So in other words, you can put your track on iTunes, where the music is downloadable. You can also put it on Pandora and Spotify and services like that, where the track is just available for streaming. Or you can say downloads only, which, as the text here says, it won't include services like Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Music. So people won't be able to stream your music online. They'll have to download an MP3 file containing your track. Do it all even unpaid is the third option. And I guess this is if you're going mainly for exposure rather than money. Then you can put it on sites that are going to distribute your track for free. You also can get a little bit more granular with this process here. You can uncheck streaming services that you don't want to work with. So, for instance, if you didn't want your track distributed on Qobuz, I don't know how that's pronounced, but Qobuz, you could uncheck the box for Qobuz. No disrespect to Qobuz. I don't really know anything about them. I'm just using this as an example. And then we save and continue. So Apple Music / iTunes and Spotify assign a particular artist ID to each artist who has submitted tracks to their services. Here, I already have some tracks that are on iTunes and Spotify. So CD Baby has automatically located my artist IDs. Like, for instance, if you click on this one for Apple Music / iTunes, you'll see Chris Edgar on Apple Music, including my new single, Tell That Boy, which just came out a couple days ago. Anyway, that shameless plug aside, that's how these artist IDs work. And if you don't have one yet, if you don't have music on iTunes and Spotify yet, then you will have the opportunity to create a new one. Okay, here's where you can limit the sale of your music to specific territories and countries. I don't really see any reason to have that kind of limitation, so I just leave all territories / countries clicked. Okay, here on this page, there are additional monetization options. Now, collect sync money, which is one of the options that we see here. That's pretty straightforward. Get your music in commercials, films, TV, and so forth. So what they apparently do on CD Baby is they offer your music to various music supervisors for commercials and movies and so forth. As far as collect YouTube money and collect Facebook and Instagram money, unfortunately the site, I haven't been able to find any part of the site that explains what that means. So I've been a little bit wary of it. And also, you don't really have any control, or you don't have any control over where your music is going to be placed if you opt into this sync option. So I myself have not opted for any of these monetization options. I've only been interested in using CD Baby for downloads and streaming, but of course you're free to explore it in any way you want. So I'm going to leave all of that off. Yes, don't collect additional revenue. I don't want money. That's right. I am absolutely sure. We're taken to this title overview screen where we see all the options that we've selected so far. We have the artist name, which is me. We have the fact that I'm the composer and lyricist. And we have the release date and everything that we chose before. Now what we'll do is we'll have the option to add album artwork. For a title that you want to submit to CD Baby, you're going to have to submit a cover for the single or album. As you can see, it's 3,000 by 3,000 pixels maximum and 1,400 by 1,400 pixels minimum. And there are specific file types that you need to use, and then there's the DPI and the file size and so on. So it's important to look at this page before you try to submit artwork, or if you're getting errors in terms of the artwork that you're submitting, this page should do a good job clarifying what the issue is. So now we have the opportunity as well to add tracks and audio. Here we see the information about the composition that we're adding, which again is Bury Me, and we can add or edit audio. Now, as you can see, for submitting audio, you're going to need to upload high-quality audio files in either WAV or FLAC form, and it's going to need to be a 44.1 kilohertz sample rate and 16-bit. Often, if you're using a DAW or digital audio workstation, it will render files by default that are 24-bit or 32-bit, you're going to need to change that setting to 16-bit, which is the standard bit rate for CD quality. It says that you can also upload MP3s that meet the same specifications, but it isn't recommended. And indeed, I would recommend uploading WAV or FLAC files instead of MP3s, because WAV and FLAC are uncompressed file formats, and so they're higher quality audio that you'll get. So here, if I want to upload audio for Bury Me, I'll get the opportunity to choose a file. I'm not going to do that at this particular moment, because all I'm doing is choosing a file, so it's not going to be very difficult to understand what I'm doing. And I want to make a few tweaks actually to my song, because I'm, a perfectionist like that, before I actually submit it to CD Baby. But as you can see, this gives you the option to choose a file from the files that you have on your computer and submit it. Once we've submitted the album artwork and the actual audio file for the track, we're going to need to pay. And as we saw before, if you select the standard distribution option for CD Baby, you're going to have to pay $9.95, and you'll pay an additional $5 if you need to have a barcode assigned. So the amount that you're going to need to pay for a single is going to be $14.95. After you have completed your submission and made your payment, there's going to be an inspection by the CD Baby staff. So as you can see here, it's a process that every release is required to go through. If any issues are found during the inspection process, then an email will be sent to the address provided for this member's account. So, for instance, if either the audio or the graphics that you've supplied are not up to CD Baby's specs, then you'll get an email saying you need to make changes before we can pass this along to iTunes and Amazon and the other music platforms. Once the inspection process is complete, then we go to what's known as partner delivery. Now, for this track, for Bury Me, no partner delivery has happened yet because no inspection has happened yet. CD Baby hasn't inspected the track and the graphics yet to make sure that they're up to spec. But once CD Baby completes its inspection process, then it's going to start delivering your track to these various partners. And these are all music platforms. You've got Amazon Music here, you've got Apple iTunes, a bunch of these things, Google Play, which you'll also recognize. So as you can see, it's a pretty long list. So that's an overview of how you submit a track to CD Baby. And that's basically all there is to it. You may need to do some more email communications with CD Baby if they have some kind of issue with the track that you submit. But normally you're not going to be communicating with CD Baby's staff. The process is pretty much automated. There needs to be a manual inspection by CD Baby of the track that you submit. But unless they find some kind of problem with what you submitted, you're usually not going to have to email back and forth or with anyone or call anyone. And I find that very convenient. I'll know that, within at least 2 weeks' time, if I submit a track to CD Baby, it's pretty reliably going to be out on iTunes and Spotify and all the other platforms that I want it to be available on. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about finding out about your sales once you actually have tracks that you are distributing through CD Baby. CD Baby will not only allow you to submit your tracks to platforms, but it will allow you to see sales data concerning how well your track is selling on each of the platforms that you've submitted to. So let's look at the sales and accounting. Here we have total sales that I've made over the years, and then we have the sales of each individual track that are broken down. And then we also have recent transactions. As you can see, you don't get paid a lot for a lot of these digital sales, but that's not because of CD Baby. That's just because the platforms pay a very low amount of money for each time your single is downloaded. So there are some sales that are listed as $0, but are in fact like 0.0010000 of a cent. So I hope you found that overview of how to use CD Baby helpful. If you have any questions about that platform, then feel free to hit me up. I can be found on all the major social media platforms at C Edgar Music. That's at C as in Chris, EDGAR Music. And look forward to hearing from you. And thank you for watching.
Greetings and salutations today. Where I am currently, that translates to G'day. I am the songwriter Maria de Los Angeles Horigome. I am also known as the artist-producer Muze. I'm here to present you with some information, skills and tips with regards to the social media platforms that we've heard of and may already love or not. Facebook and Instagram. Some other resources will be mentioned. I've chosen a relevant article on each to go through and assist you with your endeavours to reach out to the world and your creative self. Thank you in advance for watching on behalf of the City of Santa Clarita. Education matters, okay? Here we go. Alrighty, Facebook 101. How and why to make a band page on Facebook. This article is by Chris Robley for DIY Musician. It's a CD baby e-zine on music promotion and Facebook 101 on how to set up an artist band page. Now, setting up a Facebook band or artist page is usually one of the first steps musicians take when establishing their online presence. And there's good reason for that. Facebook is the largest social network in the world. It's an important place to connect with fans when you have big news to announce, as well as the obvious destination for anyone you reach on Facebook platform through paid advertising. Even as social platforms like Instagram, which is effectively owned by Facebook, as you probably know, have established huge popularity among younger demographics, Facebook is still the standard for social activity between fans, musicians, and the music industry. In fact, Facebook has become so important, many music fans and industry pros would find it strange if they could not find an artist on Facebook. There are more than 2 billion active users on Facebook every month. That's more than a quarter of the entire world's population. Never before have you had such a wide, instant access to the world, and that's worth something to both you and Facebook. Now, you might have asked yourselves, does Facebook want me to pay to reach my fans? Now, it's true that Facebook has made it increasingly difficult for you to reach your fans on their platform through organic or unpaid means. So Chris here would argue that it's important to establish and maintain a Facebook presence for your music though, because when you have big news to announce, an album or crowdfunding campaign, perhaps a tour or video launch, Facebook is the place online where the bulk of your fans are likely to be hanging out. For those big news announcements, it's worth spending some promotion dollars to make sure that you reach your Facebook followers. Also, Facebook is an ideal environment to find your new fans online. Facebook ads platform gives you the ability to target the right audiences, serve up compelling content like a music video, measure viewer engagement, follow up with messages to anyone that showed a certain level of interest, and advertise to audience who have visited to your website and sales pages. So it gives you interactivity with people that do make interactions on your content, and it gives you the ability to contact them, ask them if they want to buy your product, or connect with them any way that you liked. So he is saying that Facebook is a place that you should use to build upon your previous efforts. Bring over your experience and lay it out. So organic reach, now this is something that we hear a lot of, is kinda sorta still a thing. I actually love this heading. Now, not all effective Facebook communication is done through promoted posts and paid ads. It's still possible to have a piece of content extend its reach based on its own merit, or the calculated merit of Facebook's algorithm, which it reveals. And it seems more people are on Facebook than on YouTube. So here are some basics. Now, Facebook profile versus Facebook page. We do need to be clear on the terminology, as Facebook has two kinds of profiles. So the profile that you initially set up is a personal profile, and it's an individual's way to communicate with friends or family, a small network. Now, pages are created externally to that to represent businesses, brands, organizations, that sort of thing, and it can connect you to a larger audiences that are not actually touching on your private information. So why not just promote my music using my Facebook profile page as opposed to my music page? Why should I set up a music page? Well, as we just said, they are slightly different, and you wouldn't want all of the plethora of fans that you want to actually engage with or encourage to necessarily access your immediate daily life. So for that reason, the benefit in setting up a Facebook page gives you some separation from your fans and identifies your friends effectively. So why a Facebook page is better than a profile for music promotion, that's what we've been talking about. Anyone can see your content on a band page. Again, fans, not friends. Now, multiple admins, that's a good thing to note. The feature is very helpful for bands because you can have a few different people, let's say your bandmates, access that page and you can all administrate it together and even give each other different roles. You can even add other people to the collective so that there's just a lot of people taking care of that page and you're not the only one, if that's how you want to do it. Now, Facebook ads is quite a powerful tool that has been available for a while now, and it gives you the ability to basically boost posts or create an ad campaign so that you can reach many more people and you can state your target audiences. You can pay a small amount of money would be my suggestion if you want to trial these things. I don't think that you need to go whole hog unless you're really clear on what it is that you're achieving. Now, page insights are really handy. So that means that you can see all the statistics on your page, how many people have hit it, who has joined, etc. And that is quite fun. And you can also set up your own URL. So that's important because it is a specific web address to you. So it'll be facebook.com. In my case, it is thefaceymm because I guess somebody else came along and maybe took me a Muze, which is really bizarre because it's my copywritten name, but no drama at all. Gives you the ability to be specific and at least send your audience to that particular page. So, where are we? All right, you're convinced. You want to set up a Facebook page and you're already up and running with a personal profile. So here's how you create a band page. Now, you go to the link, facebook.com pages creation. All right. So choose the kind of page that you'd like to set up, whether it be a community, public figure or business brand. Set your category of musician or band, whatever is appropriate for your category. And then after that, name your page. Agree to the terms of service. Now, post a profile picture. Make sure people can see you. I personally don't like dealing with profiles that don't have pictures. If they're too lazy to do that, they're probably too lazy to have anything going on, is my thinking. So try to pick something there. I recommend using your own images rather than images from others where you might need to seek permissions. Now, here is an interesting thing that the article brings up. So use your cover image and a button to highlight your most urgent call to action. So Facebook has the ability when you first view the page that there is a button there, and that button you can actually either choose to send people to a store that you set up. They can contact you directly. There are different things that you can do there, and that's free, so just play with that. And there is a hard truth that might be worth noting. Your followers aren't going to visit your Facebook page. So that's what Chris here states in this CD Baby article, and it's important to just note because viewing something at a glance is important. It needs to look like it's intact, it's got all the bits and pieces, but perhaps understand now that people aren't necessarily going to spend copious amounts of time going through every single thing, and they may not be paying a lot of attention. It can hurt our feelings a little bit as artists. We put a lot of work into it, but that is the nature of the game. So just be aware of that. It should look good. Okay, so it's crucial to set up your call to action button. Basically, I think that it's important to stay on top of your features. You keep checking in and occasionally Google Facebook features, and that helps me stay on top of things. I'm not necessarily using all features, but it's good to know what is available. So here we go. For bonus points, make your Facebook cover a short video. That's kind of fun. You have the ability to actually import a video as soon as someone hits that page instead of just having a picture up the top. And that's kind of cool. So here we go. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. So be sure to drop your bio in the about section. Something. All right, doesn't need to be formal. Populate the relevant fields. It is important, like I said, that it looks complete. And selling your music on Facebook. So you can actually, it's easy to create a Facebook shop and integrate a few profiles like Twitter, Instagram, and some music audio feeds or profiles that you have set up. For me, it's Reverb Nation. The article states that there is a feature for the CD Baby music to be embedded. Though when I followed that link several times, it actually led to nowhere. So these things happen, glitches come up. If it works, move on, find the next thing, or troubleshoot it. Look up some FAQs, Google it. So the sort of thing that you can look forward to assist you with upping your game on this platform, that's what you want to keep an eye out for. And look for related articles is my opinion, as well as keeping an eye out for threads that are online. Nerds, musicians, creatives, we're always talking about it. Got to share information. Sometimes it's the only way to figure it out. So that is all for now, and I think that this was a great article. So thank you, Chris Robley and CD Baby's DIY musician blog. Have a quick stretch. BRB. Welcome back. So this is part 2, and we're going to spend a moment to discuss Instagram. It is a little bit of a necessary tool, even though it does work in tandem with Facebook. You might want to look at setting yourself up there so that you can also be prominent on social media. So here are the tips and tricks that you'll need to know for mastering Instagram as a musician, and this is set out on an article by iMusician, which was published in October 2019. So it's fair to say that Instagram has become an efficient and essential tool to promote your music and grow your fan base. If you do not know where to start and how to use the platform, don't worry. Here are the tips and tricks that you'll need to know for mastering Instagram as a musician. So firstly, you want to set your goals. All right, so this is not only valuable for your Instagram account, but for your career as a whole. Setting your goals and directions will keep you motivated and focused all of the way. So the goal here is to promote your music by grabbing the user's interest. You want to differentiate yourself from others and get heard through the noise. You'll have to work on personal branding, presenting yourself and music as a package. So this is 7 tips to promote your music release, like the pros. Okay, everything you need to know about selling music online, create. Let's not waste any more time and get straight into business. So what you want to do is start your profile. Switch your Instagram account into business mode in order to get access to a few useful features. It'll give you insights, which lets you know about the significant data of your followers. And you can add links and a contact button. You can set up ads and promote your posts on Instagram. And here are some tips. Make sure you use the same name across all your platforms. So that's to be cohesive. Okay, so for instance, I am Mia Muze, Miamuze, and that is how you will find me across all the platforms. So think, love at first sight, a handsome profile. All right, find your visual voice. Your profile should instantly give an idea of your personality and your music. So set a tone, choose a mood, and stick to it. If its aesthetics are consistent, it will simply look more attractive. Okay, so here are some key things that you want to think about. Distribute, perform, promote, protect, succeed. So with regards to your profile picture, this picture is really small, so you should preferably go for a vibrant and colorful headshot, but you can use whatever you like, okay? Note, it is advised to keep the same profile picture on your Twitter and Facebook pages for maintaining continuity. So if you are someone that is starting out, it would be important for you to maybe use some of the same images so that people can recognize you. After you've stretched your wings a little bit and people are really clear on who you are, you can go ahead and mix them up, or you can do it in the beginning, but it'll only confuse them. So just think about what's going to help your audience out. Now, bio, it's about who you are and what you do. So you don't need to explain your whole life story here. Just keep it simple and straight to the point is their suggestion. And for example, Berlin-based beatmaker and MC music emoji. Note, this is also where you can add a link to your latest single or music video. So sometimes you might pop into someone's profile and they will say, just dropped this single link. All right, so go ahead and add links to your website, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, whatever you've got going on profile-wise. And you can make use now of a new feature, which is the highlights button. All right, and that has to do with your stories. Now, what do you post? You want to share your story visually. Be creative. Make your posts relevant in some way. So what social media should be about is documenting your life as a musician by posting your live shows, music gear, yourself as a kid, because people love that sort of thing, your performance look, and anything else that you might think is relevant to your artistry and your fan base. So get a glimpse at profiles from other artists that you like and you might relate to genre-wise, as they are a source of inspiration. Okay, tips. Video posts have a length restriction of 60 seconds. But hey, this is the perfect length to tease your fans and get them to click on the link of your video that you have added to your bio. So perhaps you drop a minute of your full music clip that they can see at YouTube. Don't forget captions, because they are more important than you think. And tips, a call to action again. Now what this means in this context is ask a question to your fan base and encourage your followers to react. So you might make a post saying, "What did you eat for breakfast?" All right, so let's create our free account. What about the hashtags? You might not like them, but you should know that a post with at least one hashtag actually averages nearly 13% more than a tagless post. So you already know that by adding one hashtag, it increases your viewing by 13%. Go ahead and add as many as you like, however you like. It does say be strategic. And so they recommend that you don't use popular hashtags such as hashtag love, hashtag happy. These ones are used by millions, so your post might get lost in the mix or the noise of social media. So instead, they're saying go for the top Instagram hashtags that have an engaged community related to your audience behind them. So for that, you could have a look at the hashtags that are used by your favorite artists. What are they doing at the moment? Note, hashtags all over the place do not look nice. So the trick here is to hide them, and you can do that by using the first comment of your post. And you can also look into that a little bit further and see how you can add them cleverly. Now, tips: start a hashtag for your band and tell your fans how to use it at your live shows. In your insights, you can see how many times your post was circulated thanks to the hashtags. So you'll be able to basically engage forwards and backwards with the information and posts that you're putting out there and getting other people to interact with as well. That was a little obscure, I apologize. So stories are a great way to post quick content and stay active. Now, tips are that you can share a song from Spotify directly to your Instagram story, so no need to screenshot. You can also add music to your videos by clicking on the music sticker and browsing through the catalog. So find videos on how to master the art of IG Live and IGTV. So Instagram Live and Instagram Television is something that's quite popular now. So with IG Live, the fresh out of the oven IGTV is a new feature competing with YouTube. You can publish long videos in a horizontal format, your music, for example. And how frequently should I post? So be active and regularly post content. It is advised to post at least one story a day and a post a week, but this is up to you, as long as you are consistent and don't disappear from the platform for weeks. Note, you can always prepare your posts in advance and post them when the time is right. And a Muze tip is that you actually have tools like Hootsuite, which can also assist you with managing posting on multiple platforms. So check it out if you like. Now, Insights are an amazing tool that help you understand your audience. It uses the data strategically, and you're able to look at the time and which day your followers are most active on that platform. So this will show you when it's best to publish your next post or announce your new release without it being missed by your fans. A tip is that you can also see which stories and posts perform the best. Last but not least, engage with your community. Now that you have your profile going, don't forget to engage with your community. Reply to comments, DMs, ask questions in your stories and post descriptions, and surf the app. Follow, like, comment on artists' posts, show them your interests. Be active and do not spam. So avoid things like check out my new music comments. Just share your passion, work strategically, and you will do great. And then they have given us some useful apps that you may want to look at. So Canva, C-A-N-V-A, create your own graphic designs simply with this one tool. VSCO is a photo editing app, Repost for Instagram, Cut Story, Photo Split. Wizabelle is a music visualizer. So there are tons of apps out there that'll help you with your media creation. I did like this article, so I would like to formally thank and promote the author iMusician, and they are a Swiss-based music startup offering musicians everything they need to sell, manage and monetize their music online. It's run by a small international team who are passionate about their music. We do the hard work, is what they say, and so you can concentrate on what's important to you, and that's making music. So I am Mia Muze, M-I-A-M-U-Z-E. You can support me by subscribing to my channels and becoming a patron. See my website for details, miamuze.com, because it is much handier than my fuller name. So thank you for your audience today, and I hope that this has been helpful.